Welcome back, everybody, to Advantage in Paradise, where we are always in a silly mood. But let's go into our recap tonight. One of these days, I'm going to have you all do recaps in character. We just do what happened last week, but in the perspective only of Timber.
You gotta write it for me. I'm gonna be pressured.
Tinder.
Okay. Last we met, the battle froze momentarily as the party watched life leave Wiswick's eyes with his final words. But the fight must go on. In quick motions, Curon retrieved Wiswick's body from the telekinetic grasp of the Mind Flayer, as fog of the moon erupted from his staff, weakening the husks around him. The necrotic energy his armor absorbed began bleeding out, withering the husks further, ultimately depleting the swarm enough for a divine word spell to radiate out, decimating the enemy numbers, which opened up a path for Timber to scale the walls and bring swift strikes down on the Mind Flayer, stunning it. Because of this, the party was able to swiftly defeat their wounded foes as the original Mind Flayer you found in this chamber arrived, freshly brought back from Wiswick's banishment, seemingly friendly, or at least not hostile, as it drove the remaining husks back into the deep with its own psionic field. In the exhausted aftermath of the fight, Curon rushed to cast Revivify on Wiswick, but as he did so, wisps of spirit bled from the body, were absorbed into the arcane core of his golem, Nuldo. Far off in space and time, the cosmos thrust Wiswick's spirit beyond the material plane and even the pillar planes themselves. He felt himself pulled through stars and clouds and dust and light to the edges of existence, where he arrived on a planet orbiting a massive, radiating sun. The heat singed the very bedrock of the planet. The only respite came with the foreboding violet clouds disrupting the rays of God bleeding over the world. There he met his own god, Nuldegra, chained amongst the other punished gods. He admonished the Titan for its failure, but could not resist the pull of its mind, made up of the collective Svirfneblin intellect. Wiswick struggled to retain his own mind, but gave in with a promise to fix Nuldegra. As he became one with his god and people, he was able to deliver one last message to the Wayward Five through the golem. He promised they would meet again, and that Master Netherrock would not be forgotten, but that he is no more. As Wiswick faded from Nuldo, the giant golem cradled the broken body of Wiswick, the golem in a confused state. But he promised the Wayward Five he would help them through the Underdark because he was taught that they were friends of Wiswick's. Though grief tugged at their hearts, they weren't out of the fray just yet. They began speaking to the Mind Flayer that helped them, named Callisto. The creature's mind was addled from lack of nutrition. The party learned that the Illithid Empire had begun invading the Underdark, but Callisto promised he could get them through safely if they offered him a fair trade. He is seemingly cut off from the Empire for spending too much time on this world. He asked for a poem from Curon, and then an offering of food. Frustrated, Curon offered his headband of intellect, which Callisto voraciously accepted. But in the process of protecting Curon from Callisto's touch, Scarlet felt the touch of the tendrils herself, triggering memories of her abuse at the hands of the Crimson Court, which induced a panic attack leading to a violent lashing out against Callisto. Curon quickly understood this was no ordinary violence and transitioned to calming Scarlet the best he could. He forsook Callisto's offer with a scolding admonishment regarding the evil of the Empire. The party retreated back to Sanctuary to rest and collect their thoughts. Curon quietly suffered the inability to protect Wiswick and the party. Scarlet sedated herself by letting the Cirrus in a bit. Timber grieved quietly for the loss of his little friend, and Sarathil contemplated this loss as he offered to watch for the night. But Curon kept himself awake a bit longer to do the first watch. Within that watch, a strange light appeared beyond the chasm. A twilit woman's silhouette beckoned him to follow deeper. She led him beyond into the Ceramorph chambers of the Mind Flayers. Here he found a young Moonstone Drake, pawing desperately at one of the Ceramorph pods. After calming the creature, Curon cut through the pod and released a new friend, Talrae Glamoruin, a wood elf, or a somewhat draconic wood elf, captured by these Mind Flayers, with a gun, ready to help those who've rescued him. And that is where we left off, with Curon and Talrae walking back to the camp. After Curon let him know that it is not safe in these parts. Last session, Curon, I told you that you'd never seen a gun before, and that was wrong, because Cal had a gun.
Right.
Cal had an arcane firearm, and this would be of a similar make, but a bit more powerful.
And we had also seen a gun outside Orangeshire. We saw an orc man.
That's
carrying
true.
one.
You're right.
Well,
Yes.
were either of those guns musket-sized?
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
Okay, then.
no, you're right. They weren't. Originally, when I told Cal, like Tim, that it was what it looked like, it was supposed to be musket size, but then it became a pistol.
understood.
But yes, this is a longer version of what you've seen before, but of similar make. But the two of you walk through the dark. Talrae, you're not certain how long you were in the pod, but judging from Mundy's condition, it couldn't have been too long. So you're a little disoriented still about what time it is and where exactly within the Underdark you are.
Do I feel strange coming out of the pod or anything like that?
Give me a...
Because I know there was like a lot of juices and stuff in there.
Yeah, I would say just give me a quick, just a Constitution check. We don't usually do those, but let's just do a Constitution check.
All right.
Good old juice check.
Oh,
Check your juices.
That was almost a 20, but it's an 18.
Sounds like you're proficient in juice.
Still good. You feel very tired and like you've had a lot of your energy drained from you. But generally you feel like you're, for lack of a better way to put it, intact and untarnished. One might surmise that you, maybe due to a bunch of adventurers luring out a mind flayer, were saved from a tadpole infection.
Very good.
Currently, there's no sign that you've been infected with a tadpole of the mind flayers.
Good to know. Not that I would know anything about that.
True. But I'll just say you don't have a headache.
Very good. So I think Talrae would just be like, so where are we going?
Well, I have some friends. We have a small camp just up before here. I thought to introduce you to them all. How about yourself? What brings you down to these parts? Come here often, partner?
No, I've never been this far down under the world. I'm not from around here. I've been looking. I mean, I've got these people I'm supposed to find. I think they're called the Wayward something, the Wayward Five.
Oh,
You ever
really?
hear of them?
I
They're supposed to
think
be
I've heard
big
of-
shot adventurers.
Yes, they're on a mighty quest to save the realms as we know them, actually.
Ugh.
Champions of... Yes? Is something wrong?
No, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just hate that word, quest. It's just, quests always imply more than what they actually are.
That's fair. When I first got this quest, I thought it would be a simple task of just erasing one mask. And now look where we are. I've lost so much along the way, but gained so much more.
Yeah, just stick away from the Q word and we'll be alright, okay?
Understood, friend. Well, tell me, why are you looking for these Wayward Five? Or Wayward Ones? I don't know if they're called the Five. I just, from what I've heard, they're the Wayward Five.
Well, I mean, you showed me a kindness for saving me and all, but unfortunately, this is a little bit, private. I mean, it's a little bit my business, and I don't know if, I should really be talking to you about it.
No, I understand. I apologize. I didn't mean to pry, my friend. Curiosity gets the best of me sometimes. Uh, you're looking for these people, but do you even know who they are and what they look like?
Um, man, Valen told me their names. I just can't remember.
Oh, you know Valen.
Yeah. Do you know Valen?
Yes, yes. Our paths have crossed a number of times. He's a good man, good wood elf, an honoro, if you will.
Is that what that means? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. On an oro, sure. Well, anyway, that guy, he told me that there would be some, you know, some goofballs down here that I shouldn't be able to miss. So I figured I'd just head down here with Monday and, you know, stir up some trouble and see if I can find them. But it's been pretty tough. I mean, we've been down here for a while, and you could get lost pretty easily in these parts.
For a while. How long have you been down here?
How long have I been down here, Sean?
Wait, ask what day it is.
What day is it, Sean?
It's the ninth evening. I had it pulled up. I was gonna.
What day is it, Kieran?
It feels a little forced now, but it's the ninth evening of Arwood Gloam, the Bitter Shadow, on a sundog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's right.
yeah. I got nothing. Maybe a week or two. Who knows? There's not really any sun here, so the day doesn't really give me any indication at all.
Where I come from, there's no sun either, but we still know how to tell time. Sorry, I shouldn't judge. I guess time does lose all meaning down here when everything looks the same.
No, that's fair. That's fair. You know, I've been somewhere else for a long time, and I forgot all the tricks and trades of this realm. So any tips you might have about keeping track of things, you just let me know, and I'd be much obliged.
Of course, you haven't been here recently. What do you mean by that?
Oh, just out of town.
Out of Tamron?
Sure, every once in a while. You folks like to go on vacations, right?
You are the most different wood elf I've ever met. Nothing.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
No, you'll fit in just fine with the rest of us. Come on, we're almost there now. And Kieran kind of ushers him up to where the bubble is.
By this point, when you bring him back up, I mean everyone is asleep except Sarathil would probably be waking up at this point since it's 4 hours later to relieve you of your watch. So, Sarathil, you would have woken up to find Kiran gone.
So imagine I'm just like sitting there, like just bickering with my skeletons. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? He just walked away.
The skeleton just sort of like, and then just like points across the chasm. And you see another skeleton just like slaps you on the arm really quickly and just points, and you can see Kiran coming out of the doorway to the other chamber, followed by a peculiar draconic wood elf.
You don't look. He doesn't look at any danger, I imagine.
No, I imagine Kiran's walking back fairly calmly.
I am holding a big gun, though.
Yeah. I'll still just be on a little on guard. Like, I'll kind of like go to one of the skeletons, like, get near the bubble in case something goes wrong, to like wake the others.
Skeleton steps back.
Huron, is everything all right?
Ah, Sarah, you're awake. Good, good.
You moved away from your post. Is everything, what happened?
Yes, sorry. You know how our goddess works in mysterious ways. We've got another one, and Kieran just pats Talrae on the shoulder, and goes, "If I'm being honest, I'm exhausted now and must really take a rest. But this one is named Talrae. I found him in the pods back in the Mind Flayer's lair. Said Valen sent him, who you'll remember Valen from some of the stories we told you. He's the wood elf friend that we had that used to work for General Kinsley.
Ah.
But he says he's looking for the Wayward Five. I thought you might be able to give him a good introduction to them." And with
Hey,
that,
old man.
Kieran just kind of nods and heads into the bubble to go take a long rest.
You look a little parched. You want a good berry?
Chile, I would love one.
I give him a good berry.
What do your good berries look and taste like?
The berry itself is just a big, round, juicy, berry, but as soon as if it looks like a big blueberry, like like the size of your this big, but if you roll it into somebody's hand, like as soon as it hits impact on something, you see that it glows for it changes colors, as if the liquid in there is almost metallic and it's swirling around.
Interesting. Imagine those, if you guys remember those ads for the
Gushers?
those, not gushers, no, those when it was really big, it was to replace plastic water bottles. They were just sort of these little gel balls of
Oh,
water.
yeah.
Remember, you just bite into them and drain it out.
Yep.
Yeah, like that. Sounds about right.
What does it taste like?
Yeah.
It tastes like coconut.
Ooh.
Ugh.
Oh.
Two very different reactions.
Right?
Yeah, clearly.
Oh man, I miss
It
when
tastes
they
like
had,
whatever you
grapefruit
want
flavor.
it to taste like.
Whoa!
It's a
Which is always
snozzberry.
coconut.
I'll take it from him, but I won't eat it yet. I'll just hold on to it. So Kieran saved you from those pods.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I told him he saved me, but really, I was just hiding in one of those things. I saw some spooky guys coming, and I was like, well, this looks bad, so I just jumped in one of them pods to make it look like I was, part of the scenery. But then some gooey stuff got all over me, and then I passed out.
You hear behind him, if you can imagine, the sound of a drake sighing and rolling its eyes. As you just see this drake behind him just...
Yeah. Well, what brings you down here?
Well, like your buddy said, I'm looking for a group of adventurers known as the Wayward Five. I'm getting a suspicion that he knew a little bit more than he was letting on.
Well, yes, that would be us.
Right. Okay. Why didn't you just say so?
I couldn't tell you. He's he could be a bit sneaky sometimes, I guess. What do you
I,
need us?
um, I met with a friend of mine named Valen. He told me you folks were down here, and he wanted me to get you all for some problems that he's been having, but I'm kind of having some issues of my own. I was wondering if you guys had any uh interest in going up north, maybe helping me
What?
out.
Wait. I have only heard stories of Alan. I can't say I've had the pleasure of meeting him myself. What? How did he even know that we were down here?
I think he said one of the you folks had let him know.
Sean, am I forgetting something?
I mean, you wouldn't have
I'm no sorry, I
directed
wouldn't
this.
know.
Yeah. It was at some
Yeah,
point. Kiran did alert him that you guys were heading north to Elysia, and that you would likely take the Underdark route.
Now, I'm bad with names, but I tend to remember faces, and he mentioned that there was some sort of beast monster in your group. Can we just get that out of the way?
Well,
Is there something that I should be scared of?
if looking to my right and left with the skeletons that are already face standing there, so well, as
You
you can
see
see,
Mundy is like sniffing at one of the skeletons, nudging it, as the skeleton's just like,
um, well, if you're not afraid of my friends here, I doubt you should be worried about our friend Timber.
Don't worry. I'm not scared of the little rattling bones. I mean, a good friend of mine once took me, was telling me about this lady god friend that he had, and she really likes them suckers. So I guess it's fine.
Lady God.
Yeah, Ilya something.
Hmm. I don't quite remember the name as well. If Huron would, you should say just that to him when he wakes up in the morning, and he'll tell you.
Melia Vanya, something like that.
No, I do believe you know. You're speaking of Ilyuvanya.
Oh, right. That sounds about right. Okay. Well,
So, what to?
yeah, okay. I'm just gonna spill the beans. I mean, I kind of wanted to introduce myself to everyone first, but I guess I'll just say I there I've been looking for my buddy. He's a good friend of mine, and he gave me a lot of his stuff, and I've been in his employ for a long time now, and I'm just trying to find out where he went. And last but not least, he said he was going yonder north, and I don't know where yonder is, but I figure I'll just head north.
and Sarathil, give me a quick history or nature check. As you see, Mundy leaps down, because Mundy's just been climbing up on some ruins right now,
Yeah.
and kind of glides down behind Talrae, and kind of looks puzzlingly at him as he's telling you this.
Oh yeah, oh, how rude of me. This is Monday. He's my little friend.
25.
Mundy is very clearly a moonstone drake, and in your research of Ilyuvanya during your time looking for the shard of her, you knew that moonstone drakes have an association with Ilyuvanya through the god drake Glomung.
I must say that I can't help but notice, but that is a moondrake, is it not?
Yeah, it's a moonstone drake, yeah. Are you familiar?
I've never met one in person. I've only read stories and researched about it, but it's incredible to see one in person finally. It baffles me that one is in your, I guess, is your companion. How do you exactly know Ilyuvanya again?
You know, I've been on vacation for a long time, and when you go on vacation, you meet a lot of weird folks. I mean, I've met some people that most people don't even think that they exist, but I got friends in high places. Let's just leave it at that.
You see Mundy sits next to him and just sort of pushes his head under Talrae's arm.
You tell people that you're famous or that you know some god or something like that, and they start asking questions, and then that leads to talking, and then more talking, and talking usually leads to actions, and that's just not my thing.
You're telling me you know or are associated with directly with either Ilyuvanya or some other god.
I mean, partially, I guess.
And you're not willing to tell me or the rest of us who you're asking for help. Any of this.
Well, I did tell you that, what I was doing. I'm trying to find my friend who, is up north somewhere.
You're gonna have to give us more on that. We're not just gonna be trekking north. We are on our own adventure
Okay.
right now.
Okay, all right. I mean, can you do me a favor and just spread this knowledge to your buddies? Like, I don't want to, say this over and over again. It gets a little tiring, but I don't want too many people knowing. But my friend that I'm looking for, his name is Glowman. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He's sort of like a god drake. Some people know him as the little god drake. Yeah.
Right.
So he gave me this gun and a bunch of different gifts. I can try and contact him through other planes with his magics, but he don't seem to be responding, so I'm worried about him.
You mean to tell me you personally know Glow, and that's who you're looking for?
Well, yeah, when I was talking about that vacation, it was actually more like a job. I was guarding one of his hordes. Yeah, I mean, I can't really tell you where it's at, but there was some cool stuff in there that I was able to bring along, like this guy. And then I show off the gun, and you can see that up near the, I guess, the magazine, like where you would put ammo, if you're familiar with the contraption, it's kind of replaced with a large scale that's made of topaz. And he says, "Yeah, this is a part taken from a very powerful dragon, something like a topaz dragon. I believe that the weapon itself is called the Topaz Annihilator, but that's too rough to say, so I like to call it the Persuader. I think that sounds way cooler, don't you?"
Right. Sure. Um. Well, I apologize. Your name again was Talrae.
That's right.
This
Talrae Glomaruin.
You must be tired from sitting in your pod for a while, and
Well, I
if
can always go for a nap. That sounds wonderful. Thank you so much, and I just walk off.
Ooh. And Sarathil's just gonna sit there and like just collect what the hell just happened in front of him. Like, what
Yep.
the hell was this man talking about?
Appropriate reaction. He sounds like a bit wild in his statements. But you have the next 4 hours to contemplate this strange man who's joined you all.
I guess just two things that are not important. I'm sure
Sure.
a gun seems extremely foreign to me.
Yeah, just for everyone else, Talrae enters the bubble, if allowed to enter the bubble. And he literally just, like, curls out. Like, Mundy comes with him, and Mundy rolls up into a ball, and he, like, puts his head on Mundy's back, and just, like, tips his hat forward, and is just, like, laying out, and just, like, says not even a word.
When I see him go into the bubble, I'll gesture one of my skeletons to go in as well, and then just stand there and watch him the entire time.
Easy enough to do.
But yeah, just thinking of, would I know if he was telling the truth at least of the topaz that was in the gun, if that is from a dragon, or if it looked rare in nature?
Give me a nature check.
11.
At the very least, you can confirm that it was an actual dragon scale. How powerful it is, not certain.
Okay. Let's spend the rest of the 4 hours meditating.
It's definitely hard to tell if this is a very serious man who's actually done all these things, or if he spent a little too long in that Ceramorph pod. But the one thing he does have going for him is there is an actual bona fide Moonstone Drake that is following him.
Yes, no, I could see that. That's why I'm sitting there like, what?
Yeah, no, this is the absolute appropriate reaction.
Why do I keep meeting these people that are just like all sorts of powerful, but literally just goofballs?
Yep. Okay. The 4 Sarathil, give me a perception check just for your watch.
Yeah. Sorry. Perception, you said?
Yep.
14.
14, okay. There's a lot of noises that happen throughout your 4 hours. Just, it's hard to discern what they are. You almost feel like you're hearing the echo of the echo of the echo of some of them. And it just sort of sounds like a... It's hard to tell if this is just like falling rocks somewhere or something else. But nothing seems to get close.
Yeah.
Everything seems to be far away, and that you can tell you're hearing echoes.
Right.
But it's unnerving throughout your watch to hear the creaks and cracks of the earth around you.
I'm sure it's not localized to any direction. It's just... Okay.
Yeah, no, it's sort of coming from all over the place, but there's definitely just a lot of disruption somewhere deep in these dark depths. But nothing comes close to you all that is dangerous. You might occasionally see some strange creatures crawling about. There's a point when you look up and you just see a vermilion-colored slug that's just slowly... And you can see it's like eating the rock. And then you start to like look in this area, and the ceiling has this kind of striation, like paths, and it seems like this cavern is being created by this nest of underdark slugs.
Interesting.
But
Okay.
that's the most activity you see. And slowly, your companions start to awake naturally. Maybe a little later than usual, because there's no sun to widen their eyes. The only one who wakes up on time, I would say, is Curon. And Talrae probably sleeps in a little bit, having awoken from that. I would imagine actually...
I have to trance. I take a really nice trance.
Wood elves actually don't have trance.
Oh, sweet. Okay, I nap then.
You take an actual sleep.
Sweet, I don't have this cool ability, so I can actually sleep.
I would say Scarlet and Timber. You wake up, along with Curon, and you're coming out of maybe an unnerved sleep because you were a little grieving Wiswix. There is a little bit of difficulty there, or perhaps you accepted sleep welcoming because you needed to get your mind away. But you awake, and the first thing you see is a horse-sized dragon curled up in a ball with a stranger sleeping on its back against it. Curon, you've been awake at the same time as them, roughly. I'd say even probably before them, and would be able to warn them if you'd like, or you can go about whatever in your few minutes while they slowly awake.
I meant. Oh,
I was gonna say Kieran's just preparing his spells for the day and maybe cleaning off the glass titan armor, which as he's doing he's like, oh, it didn't even get dirty. Oh.
I imagine like Timber looks up a little bit, just slowly peeks his eyes open, and then sees Kieran, just cleaning his armor, and then just gets up a little bit, looks over to his right, and just sees this dragon. What the fuck? Oh, Kieran, who is this?
Oh, jeez, where's the fire?
Ah,
Right here.
you're awake.
Who is this? How did he get? I thought this bubble did not get in. Let people in.
Ah, yes, this is Talrae. And his friend,
Timber immediately checks his pockets for everything.
Mundi, was it?
When Talrae sees him reaching for his pockets, he quick draws on Timber.
Well,
Just
now,
be cool.
Timber is still patting. Well, you let this man in here and he just threatens me with a gun? That's what that is, right?
Sorry, I thought you were reaching for something. I'm just defending myself, you see. It's a little dangerous out here. I don't know you folks too well, and I put the gun down.
Mundi goes back to sleep.
Yes, well, as I was saying, Kaze, Scarlet, this is our new companion, Talrae.
Where did you
Found
get
him.
him? You stray man.
Do you like my stray man?
Yeah.
Uh,
Who's a good boy?
The neighbor's
night-
kids love
him. Sorry.
Last night, on watch, I was brought back to where we fought that Mind Slayer, Dreyer, and entered its lair. I found many dark things in there, but I did find a beacon of light. And this one here, and he reaches out, and first he pats Mundi, and then he pats Talrae, and goes, Iluvania showed me to these two.
When you pat Mundi, you see he sneezes, and you see a little sacred flame come out of his mouth in a little bit.
Earlier, what now?
Iluvania, goddess of the moon.
I'm pretty sure a buddy named Valen sent me here. Has nothing to do with your moon lady.
Well, yes, Valen sent you, but it was only through the guiding hand of Iluvania that he had the wherewithal to see
No.
us.
I don't think that's right. I mean, I came to him knowing, because of my friend, his
Yep.
name's Glomond. He was the one who really led me to you guys. I mean, this is kind of like my deal. It ain't Valen's. It ain't no moon ladies. It's me. I came here looking for you folks.
Well,
Help
gods
find
work
my buddy.
in
Glowman.
mysterious ways.
You're
Don't
going
they?
to help us. Wait, you're going to use... Oh, okay. Wait. How did you...
What? No, you're gonna help me. I thought that was clear.
No,
What?
we're going to help each other. And through
Well-
this union of strong wills, we shall defeat anything that comes against us.
Okay, I mean, I do have a way out of here. I could help you with that.
You
Well,
do?
First, we have some business to.
Sure. I mean, I got a little lost when we were doing the whole hiding from mind flayers thing, but
Once again,
I've
you hear Mundy sort of.
with a little help from Monday here and this map that I made, I can get us out of here lickety split.
Ah.
Mundy, was it?
Yeah, you know, keep
Monday.
your voice down.
It's okay. You can speak to me, Mundy.
He's resting. Give him a break. In fact, I'm resting. Give me a break.
I need you to read me the description of Beast Sense to
my
see if it includes
God.
dragons.
Damn it.
It might just include dragons because I want this.
I mean, you can make it. It's a DM.
Why do you always take Pet Pal?
Oh yeah, but why not? Why not talk to the end?
Always. At least he's consistent.
Oops, I looked at the wrong thing. Oopsies.
By the way, Mundy only speaks one language.
It just says beasts.
Mundy speaks Draconic for all you
That's
folks at
true.
home.
That's true.
Speaks moon.
no.
Moon speak.
I would say you can when you speak to Mundy, you don't understand Mundy because you just hear Draconic back to you.
Never mind.
And Mundy doesn't understand you.
There.
What does Mundy say? So I understand.
You would understand. Mundy would basically say he only knows how to get back to Terramron.
Yeah. Monday said that it's nap time and you should leave us alone. I asked your buddy outside about my whole deal, and he'll tell
At this point,
you
that the
everything you need to know.
the tiny hut fades away from around you all.
Oh no, it's not nap time. It's get up and start the daytime.
Oh shit!
Can I roll an insight check against this guy?
Sure.
Just to see if I like have any suspicion of like anything. It's wow, okay. That's a dirty 20. If you want to roll a deception, Clayton.
I would say he seems.
Well, let Clayton roll a deception.
Sure thing.
Right?
How about this one?
Or
right
it doesn't
here?
matter. Oh, nice.
This
That's
is
a
not a good
1.
roll. No, it's actually a 2 with a -1 modifier.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is that he seems impossibly honest.
Oh, okay. Got it.
He's your distrust comes from the fact that you think he's being way too forthright.
But I'm just
More
being
so than
really
you think he's
forthright.
lying.
Got it,
More so
yeah.
than you think he's lying. You're
Yeah.
like, why would anyone be this honest with us?
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Well, Talrae, we are more than happy to assist you in your quest. But we have some business we need to attend to first down here. Just before I found you, guided by my goddess's hand, we lost one of our own.
I was gonna ask, but I thought it would be rude. I mean, not accounting that big rock fella and a bunch of skellies outside. There's only 4 of you.
Yes, well, that mind flayer that you hid from in those pods, he took our friend Wiswick's life, our guide down here in the Underdark, and his golem there, Noldo, needs to see Wiswick's body return to his village, as do we. If you'd accompany us to the village, and along the way maybe, how do they like to put it, kick some butt of those mind flayers. They a mighty threat, both to the Underdark and to the surface dwellers in due time. We have information that would say an empire is coming for us, and the magics they use are similar to those of the realm of Carcery, if you're familiar.
We
Sure.
continuing through the Underdark then.
We have to return Wiswick to his home. It's the only right thing to do.
Well, if that's what you all really must do, I guess I could understand. You get the last rites of a fallen comrade. But just to be clear, that's priority number one. There isn't gonna be any extra stuff like after we finish with what your little, deed out of the respect for the dead, we'll get on our way to, you know, the city of the Elysia.
Yes, the plan is return Wiswick to his home.
And we're not gonna get caught up on any other foolish endeavors. Maybe if Valen calls and says that he's got a problem, we can just, not even talk to that fool and just, continue on with the current objective.
Did Valen tell you that he has issues? Did he give you any information to give to us?
Well, obviously, you don't know the Wood Elves very well. They've always got an issue. I mean,
Everyone.
I've been alive for what? 600, 500, 700 years, and every time I see those folks, they asking something of me. It's a real pain, I gotta say. I mean, sometimes I just want to go home, but they're always yapping.
Such is the life of an adventurer, no?
No, I'm no adventurer. I sit in a room and I watch it. I'm a guardsman.
A godsman made adventurer. You'll fit in
600.
perfectly.
Oh boy, I don't know. This seems like a lot. I mean, I don't really have much choice but to follow you folks. I know I'm in the minority here, but it's really important. I mean, probably big deal. Maybe your Iluvania lady would be pretty pissed if I didn't, get my work done. Glowmoon can, if anything happens to Glowmoon, I'd imagine this realm's in big trouble. He's kind of an important dude.
Yes, I've heard the stories of the little Drake. Where'd my page? The Twilight Dragon. The shepherds tell tales of him, though masked in many mysteries. I'm sure there's
Yeah,
more
most of that
information.
shit is made up.
I imagine, as are most myths, but they're
Hey,
rooted in truth.
he's actually a pretty chill guy when you get to know him.
You see, Noldo gets up from the back of the little camp that you're hiding in and just starts to cradling Wiswick's body within the the baby Bjorn, and just sort of
Yeah.
looks to you, Curon. We go now.
Yes.
Yes.
I was gonna say at that time, Sarathil will walk up when the bubble dissipated and the goal moves. Like, I see you've all had a chance to speak with our new companion, but Kiran, I think it's time for us to keep moving.
Yes, of course.
You see Noldo steps up, and you see that same sort of like scanning light shoots out. That orange light that then dissipates to starry cinders. We have several different options for paths to Smoothhold. We are 310 miles away from Smoothhold.
That's not too bad.
Which option is the shortest?
The shortest option is through the way known as the kiln.
And why is it called that?
Insufficient data.
Could you compile a logical conclusion based on
Have I ever heard of the kiln?
Give me a history check.
Sure.
It's probably warm.
14?
No.
Noldo,
Yes.
what route do you have most information on?
The Glomadoon Gap.
Threat level?
Given the circumstances of Mind Flayer infection, high. Dwargar Kingdom within Glomadoon Gap.
Which distance or path that you know of has the least threat level?
Insufficient data, but
Welcome to the Underdark, folks.
the kiln leads to the cistern, which is connected to the Shroom Cap Locklands, which leads directly to Smoothhold.
It's just me, or do all these places sound totally made up?
What's Kieran or anyone? What were the Wiswick was talking about? A kingdom down here that would fight
Dwargar Kingdom.
the Guergar.
Dwargar. Dwargar.
How far away are they?
Dwargar are closest to this location of allies under the Underdark. Down the Glomadoon Gap. But if Mind Flayers are close to here, then they are surely attacking the Dwargar Kingdom. But the Dwargar pride themselves on the only kingdom beneath the world to have fought Mind Flayers before.
Thinking, I know Weswick had mentioned this in the past. We can gain favor with them with the head of the Mind Flayer we just killed. But if there are more Mind Flayers in that direction, then that's probably not the best option.
Well, the Mind Flayers will be a threat both now and later. If we can both rid ourselves of a threat, or at least blunt it a little now, and gain a new ally on our way to our current objective, I think it's...
Gloam Lord Garlemane, good friend to his wick, Netherrock, built Scarlet's bracelet with him. King of Kolpolt Rotstva.
Would they have any magics over there?
Certainly.
Would we be able to get in contact for a possible teleportation location?
Given Mind Flayer threat unlikely.
Mm.
Anti-magic fields. Common strategy of Illithid. Depending on level of invasion and infestation.
Talrae just goes up to Kieran and just says, I haven't met many dwarves in my day, but from what I heard from stories about, I guess basically all I know about are dwarven gods, but there was a funny joke that was pulled on this boy named Falcon by Fiercehold and Glomand. It was a good time. It was a really funny story. I mean, I don't know if Glomand was just making stuff up to make me laugh, but the dwarven people don't seem to take very kindly to fooling around. Kind of like serious stoic folk, from what he told me. So, maybe keep that in mind.
Okay, understood. Kieran gives Talrae like a look up and down, like, who's this guy that's talking to God Drakes? And where do I get to talk to God?
So, Naldo, you can detect the threat level of mind flayers. How is that? And would you be able to detect mind flayers within a shorter distance?
Yes.
So if we were to take the path...
I can do that too, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, I could
Well,
sense things. I've got a pretty good sense of things.
So, if that's the case, then we should be a little bit more prepared for taking out such threats. Instead of having
Yes.
the jump being on us.
If given the appropriate time, I can scan for threats.
Could you do it consistently? Or does it waste too
takes
much of your
time.
battery? Oh.
It does waste energy.
Ugh.
Insufficient data also.
Could you scan this dead mind flayer as I kick it?
High-powered Arcanist.
But the way I see it, no matter where we go in this Underdark, we have no idea what's in store for us. I think the best option we have is to find this Dwarven Kingdom. And even if there are Illithid there, finding more allies down here will prove beneficial.
I agree.
I
Then the rest
agree.
of the way to Smoothhold should be smooth sailing.
Maybe we iterate a scan from Talrae and Naldo every so often of a threat.
Skiran is not subtle.
Well, how loud is it?
It is not the loudness, but the golden light.
Can we? Okay.
No.
Okay.
We'll just have to try to be as discreet as possible until we get there.
And Naldo, what's your method of detecting? Is that do you also scan with your eyes?
Did you mean Talrae?
Talrae, sorry.
I was like, I just showed you.
Yeah, no, sorry. I meant Talrae.
I have what us rangers call primeval awareness. It allows me to use my magics to sense the location of aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fiends, or undead that are present within a
Aberrations.
mile.
The way Talrae talks, I think some of you might have a memory of a certain captain of a vessel way back who was a druid who used to talk a lot about the natures. Now the natures had to be respected. And perhaps they
That is pretty true. Them natures do need respecting.
Maybe they both had a similar nurturing of their talents.
Oh my god. Oh my lord.
Yeah.
At this point, if anybody looks over at Scarlet, I had just been playing with my dagger and kind of like cleaning out my nails and not really paying attention, and my hand's all bloody now, so I wasn't really paying attention to it. And I had started to get overwhelmed again at the discussion of going towards the mind flayers and going deeper in, and so I took another dose.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
And while she's doing that, can Talrae
Another
just go up to
dose?
her and just be like, "Oh, hi, that looks like it smarts. Would you like a good berry?"
No, thank you. And a natural 1 for a 3.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I just remembered the name of that druid, Albric. blue tiefling.
Oh yeah, Alberic. I
You don't know
remember him. Oh,
You don't know. Scarlet,
Mm.
you let go a little bit more. Scarlet, did you ever put the dagger back in the bag? Do you have it still?
I think I still have it.
Mm-hmm. As Scarlet is sitting there and maybe starts to get up when you all are getting ready, Scarlet, you immediately become really lightheaded when you stand up. In that same way anyone who stands up too quickly does. You lose your balance, and you maybe just a hand hits, like maybe just like grab the side of one of the ruins. And as you all are grabbing your bags and getting ready, you would immediately see just the armor goes all across Scarlet, latching onto her face.
Oh, is this normal?
No, it is not.
How do I feel? Am I like present like enough to like try and pry it off, or do I just let it happen?
You have very little left of yourself right now.
Okay.
You can feel yourself sinking.
Yeah.
With
In that same way you always felt right before they pulled you out of the tank, when you felt yourself vanish and you started to see yourself doing things.
Yeah.
with swiftness. Can I quickly run up and throw manacles on her?
Yes. As you're doing that, Scarlet, what do you want to do in this moment? As far as your mentality of Scarlet yourself, I imagine you. This is how you would feel. You'd feel this slow sense of warmth and loss of feeling that is comforting at first.
Mm-hmm.
But then in the same way, when you have a heavy blanket on yourself that at first is comforting, eventually becomes suffocating,
Mm-hmm.
is the feeling you have now.
Okay. Then that case, then I would like grip at the mask and try and pull it off.
What skill would you like to use for this?
Can I make an argument for investigation, like trying to locate like a weak spot on it that would be good to put force on?
Of course.
Can I try and help her in a way?
Yeah, I would allow that.
Yeah, so I imagine I'm right next to her, so when this stuff crawls all over her, I yell out, "Mundi!" And he shoots a magical beam from his mouth, and it hits my hands, and you can see that my hands are now glowing with this radiant light, and I attempt to pry the mask from her face.
Yeah, I'll give Scarlet advantage on her investigation check. Timber, what kind of check do you want to do for the manacles?
I was gonna say sleight of hand.
Go for it.
I got a 28.
28. Okay. Timber.
21.
21. Excellent. So what is that? That's total. That is a 48. Combination of all of these things quickly bring everything into focus and control. As you all would notice Scarlet's eyes starting to cloud over, and you can see like she almost has like only strength in one arm to grasp at her face to rip the mask off, but it's through the quick movements of Mundi and Talrae to bring that radiant light to the skin, as well as your application of the manacles and turning them on, that you suddenly all hear a screeching sound that is clearly the latent piece of Scathefulum within the armor, as the armor just sort of erupts out in tendrils of slime and ooze and ichor before retracting back into the dagger.
Scarlet, you okay?
Scarlet, you would immediately be back to yourself and like your full self. No anesthetization. You would
Oh, word.
actually see immediately. Interestingly, the prongs of the black would come out, like into its tendril form, like as much as it can look concerned, it starts to investigate you very quickly all around.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I
Are
put
you-
these on just in case.
What did I do?
You just got all.
Did I hurt anyone?
No, you did not. You're fine.
Kieran walks up, slowly taking out the bag of holding and stoops to pick up. Did you drop the dagger?
Probably.
Imagine you dropped it as soon as it no longer was connected to your body.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself. I chipped a nail. And you can see I have like a draconic claws that in one of them is like a little cracked.
Kieran stoops to pick up the dagger, and as he does, he just kind of says, "No, you didn't hurt anyone. You just gave in again." And he drops it in, and then putting his hand around her, the hand that she had been picking at. Is it still bloodied?
Yeah.
He'll just do a light cure wounds on it, more for flavor than to use a spell slot.
Yeah, you don't have to use a spell slot.
You know, that spell economy.
Yeah. I'd like to make like a homebrew cantrip that's for flavor healing, you know?
Mm.
For cuts and
Super
bruises.
cuts and
Yeah.
broken
Boo
nails.
boos.
A half a hit point.
But Scarlet, you
It's
would
called
be
Goodberry.
That's true actually. Isn't Goodberry a first level
Yeah, it's
spell?
first.
Yeah.
You get 10 of them.
True. Scarlet, you become innately aware of the parasite in the back of your neck, that you just feel like your neck is stiffened and it feels like there's bugs crawling across your neck,
Ugh.
as you could feel it coming to life again when it was previously dormant. There's this tingle that goes down your spine that sends pins and needles across your entire body.
I think it's restored, or nearly there.
I'm gonna leave these manacles
Feel
on.
it.
Kieran, are you able to be a doctor or Sarathil? One of you two check Scarlet.
What? Oh,
I forget, did we
Yes.
remove curse or dispel magic for this?
I think it was dispel magic.
It was
Dispel
a
stuff.
series of dispel magics originally, because there were
Yeah.
3 locks on it, but that was at its full capacity.
Right.
You don't need to waste your spell slots. Sorry. You waste your energy. Waste your energy.
We cannot have you.
It's fine. It's
I'll,
fine. We have these. It's fine. You're going to need it.
yeah, but we're also going to need you.
Sarathil,
What?
in
What?
No, you look like you said it like I was in trouble or something.
no,
Sarathil.
Sarathil.
You
No.
feel a tingling
You start
sensation on
having
your
a
neck.
heart attack.
You're an old man. You
You're an old man.
gotta take your baby. You haven't been taking your baby aspirin.
Yeah.
No,
you haven't gotten your 50-year-old plus checkup.
as the
polyps are
as
too
the
much.
only
Sorry.
one who's really done a thorough examination of this creature.
Yeah.
And as you become more attuned with the diadem of Athramenos, you have a feeling.
Yes.
You have a feeling that there may be a method through that to temporarily nullify it.
Yes. Walking up to Scarlet, it's like, we do need you on this journey, and you won't be use to us with these on. I've looked at this before, and if you feel comfortable, let me allow me to see what I can do.
Are you sure that's wise? What if it's worse?
The only going to keep getting worse. And I think this is our best option.
All right.
I just
I'm
ask you to.
sorry.
No, it's okay.
Sorry to be such a burden.
Sarathil will just kind of place his hand down and ask her to just kind of like, if you would, just lower yourself so I can and reveal the back of your neck.
Okay. I'll kneel down and so you can see the back of my neck.
I'll kind of put one hand on her back, like close to her neck, and kind of like channeling the diadem that I have, and putting a hand to what I think is there's like a gem or something that's like in it, right?
Yep, there are several rare stones known as enamendrite that are in the
Yes, right. I meant right. Thank you. I kind of put two fingers to one and concentrating on that and looking at where I know the parasite is because I know it's not like visible to the eye. Cast mind blank at it. And what I'm hoping to do is just cast that on it to nullify, just obviously not getting rid of it, but just to nullify any sort of connection between it and her.
Yeah.
And how I imagine it's just like touching it, like it illuminates, and then like a beam of light just shoots right to where the parasite is. And then I would hope that it's, some relief is felt from Scarlet.
Yeah.
So you,
Sarathil, give me an Arcana check as you do this.
23.
Nice. Okay. So everyone watches as Sarathil does this. You can see this. The diadem on his head is this helix twist of black iron or black metal that kind of twists like in a helix shape all around his brow, coming all around in these sort of sharp thorns that hug these like crystal shaped gems. They're not cut gems. They are more like quartz looking, with this black base and red light kind of bleeding from them. And you see they glow. All right, sorry, it's not. It's more of an amber color than a red color. And you see as he touches his finger to it, you can see it sort of glows around it. And then I imagine you take your finger away and it just sort of shoots down in a beam into Scarlet's neck. And Scarlet, you feel this energy shoot through your spine, nullifying all of this scratching and crawling and itching. And Sarathil, for a moment, you even see like what looks like almost undulation underneath Scarlet's skin, where the parasite is. Calm. Scarlet, you feel light as a feather in this moment. There's never been such a severing of your connection to the Sirius. It was dormant before. It is blank right now, as the spell suggests.
Mm-hmm.
The Sirius has no possible means of influencing you at all. Zero. The only way for you to have any kind of panic is in your own mind now. No influence through her. Sarathil, with that 23 for your Arcana check, you get this slight backlash, is the best way I'll put it, where you, for a moment, see into the mind that has been influencing Scarlet. And you can feel this familiar energy that is similar to the diadem, in that this figure seems to be using the same kinds of magic as the diadem to manipulate minds. And you just feel absolute disdain for you from this creature and hatred. And almost like an eye is on you now that wasn't before. You're not marked in any way, but you have garnered the attention of something powerful, evil.
Understood. I imagine that takes a little bit of not exhaustion, but strength or whatever
Yeah.
for me. So I'll come off of it. Did it work?
Thank you. Thank you.
It knows. And I'm happy to say you feel better. But just know this, unfortunately, isn't permanent.
How long does it last?
A day. But if so, I can continue to do this so long as we're together.
Thank you. And I kind of just like slump back for a little bit and just like so relieved.
Absolutely.
Don't worry, we'll get that parasite out of you at Scarlet. But now, we do have pressing matters to look to, as Kieran gestures to Noldo. Probably chomping at the bit.
Yes.
Talrae goes off on another story. He's like, "Oh yeah, this reminds me of a time when I tried to contact Hailfrost in another
Jesus
dimension,
Christ.
and and he didn't really like that, and rolled real. I didn't really cast the spell real well, and I went insane for a couple months until Glowmoon could get me all fixed up."
Why would you seek to commune with such a devilish creature?
Sorry, who are you?
I don't know. At that point, it was like I just wanted to collect all the god drakes. Like I wanted to talk to at least all of them at least once.
That did not answer my question.
I whisper over to Scarlet. It's Kieran's stray man. I don't know. He kind of just found him, and he's going to help us. I don't know. I'm
Just in the middle of the cavern.
I know. I don't know either.
No, I found him in one of the pods within the Mind Flayer's lair. Valen
Maybe
sent him.
All
So,
right. I was about to ask you if he could be trusted, but that answered it.
He
Well,
didn't take anything of
Iluvania
mine or
got
yours.
I mean, you can trust me to do nothing.
Talrae, you would hear a little voice from Mundi speaking in Draconic to you. Just saying, if you keep telling these stories, they're not going to believe you anymore.
I talk back to Draconic, to Mundi, and say, "Are you sure? I mean, I think things are going pretty well."
I know you never talked to Hairfost.
Well, yeah, he totally bounced me out of his brain. I got all scrambled for a couple months. You remember that?
Just be careful with these folks.
Timber,
They look fragile.
you take him off.
Oh yeah. I'm going to leave them on. I'll just press the boop boop. Press the little button.
It's fair.
You have the freedom to move your arms again.
For like maybe like an hour or two, and then I'll take them off if that's okay.
That's
It's okay.
fair.
You and Scarlet can just keep trading then.
Yeah, like when
Both of
I
you keep freaking out.
when you start bleeding, just give me the back, and I'll put them on. Somebody else can press the button.
So imagine you all start to move on with Naldo through into the next chamber.
Which chamber? Oh, like are we going back to where we fought the Mind Flayer?
Yeah.
We are. Okay, good.
As you pass into the chamber, you see that all of the husk corpses have deteriorated just into the coolant-like ichor that is now just sort of slowly infesting this chamber. You see the way that it was slowly converting the flesh to construct, it's now slowly converting this chamber into construct. Except there's a very clear delineated line that's sort of a half circle where you can tell is likely Callisto's psionic field. And, of course, you hear the cackling and the fire of Callisto up in his little nook. Delicious. Delicious. You've never tasted better, Douglas. But he does not seem to be a threat, as long as he has his fix up there.
Is the dead Mind Flayer's body still there?
Yes.
Oh, I took that soul trinket. I don't know if that has any sort of.
It may. If you want to look into it. It's not part of the class, but it's something we've been doing that I like.
Yeah, maybe not right now, but
Yeah.
later.
Should we cut its head off for proof of allying with these Dwargo? Yeah.
I was going to suggest the same thing. As
Uh,
everybody's
okay.
oh, okay. I guess I was gonna do it. I was gonna.
Yes, it's best to let Timber with the grizzly business.
Yes, Fezzik. Oh, Jesus. Wiswick. Did
You hear a grumble from the corpse of Wiswick.
that box I have shakes?
Yeah, that's right. Timber, when you cut off the head, you notice this like really thick silver blood comes out. That for the first time in your life as a lycanthrope, you have no desire to consume.
Perfect. I'm gonna take a vial out and just drip some in.
Of course you are. Of
Yeah.
course you are.
I mean, cork
If
it.
there's anything I can guarantee you, you're going to collect something's blood.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I'm gonna throw it in the bag, our explorer bag, with all our food.
Yeah. Not the curse bag, the explorer bag.
Did you put the dagger in the curse bag, Huron?
Yes, he did.
Good.
Curon, everyone knows. Curon has
Huron
the curse bag.
Got it.
Timber has the explorer bag.
Got it.
Sean, if the caverns are big enough, Talrae would be riding Monday at this point.
Yeah, they will be from this point forward.
Okay, great.
There'll be a point where they might get tighter, but for now, you'll be good. Is there anything you'd like to do in this chamber before proceeding onward into the Ceramorph chamber?
No.
Like to proceed.
Okay.
With caution.
So you all
With
squeeze
caution.
into this chamber, and you can see exactly what Curon saw before. Basically, what the coolant ichor is trying to do in the next room has been done in this room. Where you see pools of this ichor are there, and you can see the entirety of the walls have been transferred into this. The best way to put it is mechanical flesh. It has the sinew of muscle, but the sinews are made up of wire that glitters with the green light. You can see the pools where Curon had snuffed out most of these tadpoles. You can see there are a very small amount of tadpoles left in each one that are clearly devouring each other. As you move through, you can see the same thing Curon saw in here, horribly mangled corpses that are twisted with these mechanical wires. Clearly these husks, but they are inactive right now. As you're stepping through.
If nobody else beats him to it, Talrae will, when he notices it, he'll like lower his gun on the pile of, creatures that are attacking each other. And, just look back at everyone and just be like, I'm gonna take care of this over here. You might want to step back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And with that, he'll just shoot the pile of goop.
Okay. And you would...
You shooting tadpoles with your gun?
Yes, like fish in a barrel.
I was beat me to it.
You would all hear this this very faint whining sound. That's like, and you would distinctly smell ozone in the air as the topaz scale lights up, and then there's just sort of this. As you can see, several.
It's like a beam of necrotic. It's like a bullet of necrotic energy, right?
Yeah, exactly. And these little tadpoles go flying all over the place, and most of them are dead. Some that are alive land and can't really move outside of the pool.
Should we be making a lot of noise?
Burning help at all?
Yeah. and
Yeah,
then
why don't
Kieran,
you
like,
burn
walks
these
forward
things?
and he goes, "Let's burn this mother down."
Okay.
Shooting that sacred flame. Just like, yeah, yeah.
And watching him do that, I'll just go over to one and just.
Yeah, you hear little whines from the creature, little squeaks that come off of them like screeches before they burn lifelessly. And you can notice like the ones you're killing are fat after consuming their brothers and sisters. As you move through, as you burn it away, some of these wires burn similarly, revealing the stone behind them. As you move through, you find you have to climb up a bit of a crevasse, a bit of a cliff, to get to an open cavern that leads into the next opening chamber. Everyone give me perception checks.
You see 20 illithid.
You see
See
an
yourself
elder brain.
get captured.
Nice.
As you go to say no.
you say,
say
yes.
You all actually lost the last fight, and you're
You were
awakening
just
from a
dreaming.
dream
Yeah.
to see yourselves in Ceramorph pods.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say on a cart.
Oh, you're fully awake.
You're finally awake.
Oh my god.
That's Ulfric Stormcloak.
25.
Happy anniversary.
I also got a 25.
I also got a 25.
18.
Damn.
18.
20.
What?
That's low, Kieran.
That's very low for Kieran.
He's on a blood fury rage of tadpole killing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
He's just fire in his eyes. Well, these are all high enough. You all hear the distinct echo of another Sarathil, similar to what you heard the night before, and it's this kind of like. It sounds like, for like a real life reference, it sounds like when like a railgun shoots off. That very like quick, like.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's hard to describe that sound. But you just hear it. Definitely far away, the origin of the sound, but definitely close enough to might be a threat.
How far away would I be able to estimate? Like, we're talking like a mile, 2 miles, 6 miles.
Give me a nature check. Or a survival check.
Oh, you should have said that earlier, but I did roll high. I got a 19 minus 1 is 18.
Okay.
If it was a survival check, it would have been a 29.
I'd say it's about it's pretty deep into the caverns, maybe a couple miles away.
So I'm in my favorite terrain, so my primeval awareness goes up to 6 miles. I
forgot how good rangers are for something like the Underdark.
So I think I'm going to spend a first level spell slot and see what I mean, I can't really see numbers, but I can see, what type of creature is over there. And
Yeah.
also in all other directions.
So that's 6 miles around you, and you can sense if they're present, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it aberration?
Aberration, yes. What are the other things you can sense?
Aberration, celestial, dragon, elementals, fae, fiends, undead.
Yep, aberration. Yep, aberration. Yeah, aberration. There are definitely aberrations within 6 miles of you.
Yup. There's some bad guys over there.
We just passed one.
True, that's true actually. Yeah, there's one that's literally 50 feet behind you.
I mean, no, over there. Not the one back there. I can sense him too.
Might be a dumb question, but what is an aberration? Like, what kind of creature is that?
Like a horror creature.
Yeah, it's a far realm creature. It's an alien-like creature. It's
Celestial.
spooky, often corruptions, corruptions of other creatures.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you.
I think Eldritchy.
Yeah.
Kind.
Me.
I'll say I like to do this for primeval awareness, especially because it's kind of like becomes a little like. I'd like you to give me a perception check.
Sure.
With the primeval awareness to get a little bit more information.
I like that. I got a 15.
Okay. So you can very clearly tell the one that's behind you. And you can distinctly tell that there's one pretty close by, actually, that's not that one. That's down this path. It's small, though. Like the other things you're sensing are large clusters or the one very powerful one behind you. This one's tiny. A little bigger than the tadpoles, because you also sense them. although they're all dead.
Baby flare?
But there's definitely one close by, so you may want to be stealthy.
Guys, I think that we're being watched. We might want to be a little bit more quiet
Are they?
as we go on.
Are they? How close?
Kind of in that area, or maybe over there.
That close? How close? How
Kind of
how
like
far away?
this far, except more.
Tim just looks at Kira. I'm like,
Great find.
yeah.
Like
Alright.
real close is what I'm trying to say.
Naldo. Should we have Naldo do a scan?
Well,
He said it would be loud.
No, he said it would be bright.
Well,
Uh,
said it would make our enemies aware of us is I think the important part.
Yes.
I think it's best if we just try to sneak forward. And if push comes to shove, we can see how our new companion does.
should.
Yes.
You guys see Mundi disappear into moonlight, and Talrae just starts picking up mud and rubbing it all over himself.
Is that a
Your friend could just disappear into thin air. Why don't you do something like that?
Well, he's a little bit
Get
more
lost.
magic than I am, and this is my sneaky attire.
Of course.
See, watch, and I hide against a wall with the mud on me, and you can see that I'm actually very incredibly successfully camouflaged because I have an ability called hide in plain sight. That means if I just stand real still while I have mud on me, they can't tell me from the
Please
wall.
tell me that's not actually an ability.
It is.
It
This
is.
fucking,
It actually is.
this is the Drax ability.
I'm staying incredibly still. All right, everyone, give me
Leans
stealth checks.
over to Kaze and just goes, he really reminds me of him, doesn't he?
I get a plus
He
10
does.
as long as I don't move.
He does.
Well, it's a good thing you guys are moving.
Nat 20.
Nice.
Woo!
I
Look
got
at
a
that.
22 without the camouflage.
Yeah, because you're moving.
7.
Sarathil, what'd you get?
Net 20.
What was the total?
19.
Scarlet, what'd you roll?
19.
Oh,
Just
wow.
very, very low for me.
And Timber?
26.
You see Noldo sort of melds with the stone all around to increase his stealth.
I should have.
Ah,
Whatever.
You all move through this tunnel where it gets a little cramped for a little bit, and you kind of formulate into a single file line. Can I get the marching order, please?
Timber will go first.
Yeah, Timber. Noldo is with you. He's sort of melted in the stone, moving with you.
I'll go behind them, and I am checking for traps like a good little rogue.
I'm also gonna
Well, it's
be
a good thing that Timber will trigger them before you can check them.
Yeah, I should go first.
Like a terrible little rogue.
I can go last.
Timber will be a dog too,
Oh.
and he's gonna keep an ear out.
Ah, okay. So you have advantage
Mm-hmm.
on perception checks.
You
Go ahead and give me
point
one.
if you feel like you're trapped.
Yeah.
I'll
Oh yeah.
check it
I'll turn around my head, start panting, look at you, and then just wait for you to do something.
So I imagine
I like this system.
you're on your.
I'll just sniff at where
Are you after Scarlet, Curon?
Yeah, sure. Somewhere in the mid.
I'm suddenly realizing that you guys are slowly all having the same first letter for your character names. So I've been like, normally I just write like T for Timber, but now I have Talrae and Timber.
Yep.
I usually
have to
write
do
S for
Tal.
Scarlet, but I'm like, oh, there's also Sarathil.
Yep.
It's
So-
not too late to name myself Pal, Ray.
Nope. I canceled that.
Paradise is canceled.
Yeah, it's over.
It's
Okay.
Just be named Garth or
Um,
something.
Garth
Does
would
anyone-
be good.
Whoever would like to can give me a perception check while they're doing this as well.
Sure.
oh yeah.
Why wouldn't I?
Boom.
Another
Fun,
19.
Divan.
Ooh.
Wow, Kieran.
Ooh.
Is that a natural 20?
That is a natural 20 for me.
That's
Both of you?
we'll say that's why Curon rolled so bad in his stealth because he was
Yeah.
listening so hard. Curon, you got a nat 20.
Yeah, 35.
Hell yeah.
Fuck.
Timber, you got a.
Natural 20 as well with a 28 though. Not a 30. Not a 35. I can't.
Sarathil,
18.
which is also pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like a pretty good roll. It's just
I know.
I got a 21 also.
okay. Scarlet,
19.
does anyone speak Undercommon?
Yes.
Undercommon?
Do.
Do you really?
Yes, because I remember when Clayton was making Wiswick, I was like, I'm gonna be Gnomish and Undercommon because the ditch towns. I think Kieran.
It
was
would
really
make sense.
curious
It would make sense
about
that
them.
you know at least rudimentary to communicate with them. All right, so everyone else who got an 18 or higher, which I think is everyone, would hear a grizzled voice crying out, almost panicked, just saying like "Unto was, unto was, unto was." Huron, you would hear "Help us, siblings! Help us, siblings!"
Immediately, Kieran throws up any pretense of stealth and goes, "Someone needs help up ahead. They're speaking Undercommon. It's either Deep Gnomes or the
Dwergar.
Dwergar. We must
Okay.
hurry."
So you rush forward. As you kind of rush forward past them all, roll a dexterity saving throw. No, I'm just kidding. There's no traps. But you clamber into the next chamber where you would see, kind of distracted. You wouldn't really necessarily see full landscape of everything. Why did that turn off? Well, I'll describe it. You would see the room opens up into a, on your right, there's immediate kind of like a stairway leading up. On your left is a tunnel that leads deeper into the dark. In the center, you see where the cliff, the stone gives way to a vast lake, underground lake. But in the middle of all of this, you see a two-headed Ettin, desperately kind of like flailing around. As you see, like one arm like clawing at its chest, and the other arm pushing one of the heads away from it as it's screaming this "Under us! Under us!" And you can see the head it's pushing is sort of like even paler, and there's like purple veins throughout all of it. Its eyes are whited over, and it's just sort of like. Does anyone speak deep speech?
I do.
You would hear sort of this recanting over and over and over again. We have arrived. We have arrived. We have arrived. From this other Ettin head. As we're going to take our break at that. All right, folks, we'll be back in 5 minutes. We will see you very shortly.
flying back. We're zooming. We're landing. You're there.
Welcome
Here.
back.
You made it.
You made it.
Up the landing.
Unbuckle your seatbelts. Get ready for a
All right.
second ride. Yep, I said it. We're going.
Oh, you're a dog.
Rough.
Yeah,
rough,
you're not allowed to
rough,
talk.
rough.
Batman.
I should say bow wow for the chosen books.
Wow, wow, wow.
No,
Yippee-yo,
you
yippee-yo.
all have entered into this chamber. At least Curon has roughed. Oh God, rough.
It's
Rushed forward into this chamber.
It's rough. Yeah, it's rough.
And you see this two-headed, large giantkin Ettin, who is fighting itself, essentially pushing this clearly corrupted in some way head, babbling deep speech as an undercommon. It is begging for help from its siblings, wherever they are. What would you like to do?
Kieran's going to approach it and, speaking in an undercommon, go, "Don't worry, we're here to help. We've encountered these creatures before. May I?" And then he says, like, gesturing with his staff.
Let me roll to see which head has control of the body. You see, as you approach forward, the head that is screaming in undercommon suddenly gets really exacerbated and keeps screaming. It actually just screams, "Run! Run! Run!" as the body straightens out and just starts towards you. As that head with deep speech gains control of the body. Roll initiative.
Everybody.
Yep.
Move feet and feel united.
Oh.
20 to 25.
Oh my goodness.
21.
21, nice. 15 to 19.
17.
Oh, I got a 20, sorry.
19.
What was your Scarlet?
17.
What'd you get, Sarathil?
5.
Talrae, you would go first. Your dexterity is definitely higher than what.
Yeah, it's +5.
Okay. Curon, you're up first.
Taking a step forward, but not actually. Kieran is going to cast Command on this creature, specifically the infected head, and just pointing like down with his staff, like at the stone, just say, "Stop!" And it needs to make a Wisdom saving throw for me. DC 20.
You're muted.
It fails. So you see the body immediately freezes up. And you can see the other Ettin sort of. You can see he seems to have control over the body now, the other head. What did you do? He says in undercommon.
We only have 6 seconds.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna say, everyone else, is there something you want to do? You see the creature is calm. The other head is just sort of.
I did not.
Talrae's
Let's just go
gonna-
through everyone. Talrae, is there something you want to do?
Alright, I shoot at the head that's evil.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
Alright, here I go. I'm gonna go with... I'm not gonna cast a spell to do anything fancy. I'm just gonna use my sharpshooter. So, this might fuck up. I'm using sharpshooter to aim specifically at the head, imposing minus like things to deal more damage. What is it? -5 penalty on the attack roll, +10 to the attack's damage. So it's gonna be -5 plus 14 is gonna be +9 to the roll.
Okay.
I got a nat 1.
Okay. So you see the arrow or the gunshot. It doesn't miss entirely. It just sort of like cuts through the cheek of the other head, and you see the head just does not react. But you see the Ettin in control, just sort of. Timber, what do you want to do?
What's it wearing? Is it wearing clothes? Is it wearing a belt?
It has a belt and a loincloth.
All right, but it's got a belt, right?
Yes, it does have a belt.
I'm going to run around it. I'm gonna transform.
You switching back to
Yep.
hybrid mode?
Yep. I'm going to whip out my immovable rod and then just stick it in his belt, and then click the button.
Excellent. Perfect. Okay,
And-
so it is, for the most part, held in place there. It'll need to, if it turns back, it'll need to use some kind of action to
Take his pants
jostle its belt up.
Yeah.
Scarlet, is there anything you want to do?
Yeah, I will go up next to Kieran, and as I'm doing it, I'm drawing the prongs of the black, and I'm gonna hold my action, and get ready to snap it out at the and if it gets close to Kieran.
Okay. It's the Ettin's turn. You see the Ettin just sort of tries to drop to its knees. Gets a little caught on the rod. But I'll say for its actions kind of slips out of it just because he drops down. And he's just weeping. He's just openly weeping. As you just, Curon, you would hear him saying over and over again, you can tell this is a name because it doesn't correlate necessarily with a particular word. Fen, no, what? Help us, as it holding her hands up to you, Curon. Sarathil, is there anything you want to do?
Figure of death.
Yeah, all you hear it saying is saying Fen, under us.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go up to Kieran and just kind of clarify, like, what's wrong with it?
Do I understand not the words of deep speech? Do I understand maybe it's... Would I know that it's a deep speech?
I think that Talrae would have mentioned that what the other head was saying.
I guess not directed to
Yeah.
Kieran. I'll just walk up to like get close to everybody else and just say it out loud. Whoever wants to respond.
Yeah. I'd say for sure Talrae can say the other head is speaking deep speech, which you would know. Talrae can
Something
easily tell
about
them.
somebody coming.
We have
What was the word?
arrived.
It was saying that we have arrived.
And you would know that this deep speech is an aberration-based speech, Talrae, so you could easily inform them of that.
I do so.
Yeah. Let me give you all kind of an extra couple of seconds for any kind of conversation you want to have before Kieran's turn and the corrupted head comes back.
I think it's been afflicted by the mind flayers. Something's not right with it.
Let's get what we can do to help.
Do we attack it?
No. We
So
need
let's
to
run then.
We must try to remove the tadpole. I assume it's the tadpole. I'm making a lot of assumptions.
I mean, based on your experiences so far with the mind flayers, because you don't really know anything about them, it's the closest thing you can guess it is one of these tadpoles.
It's being affected by their magics. We have to help it somehow. It's not of its own. It can't help it.
What do you do?
Could we put it to sleep? It's going to hurt us, right?
Last
Try
statements
it.
from everyone.
Can I shoot it again?
That on your turn. This is not turn based. It's just if you want to say anything before it goes to Curon's turn and the command ends.
Would
It
you
comes
spell
near
it?
you, I'm attacking it.
Would it just spell magic work?
Let's try.
Curon, it's your turn.
Dispel magic.
Okay. Targeting the head that is corrupted.
Yes.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Kieran casts the spell and goes, well, nothing happened.
Anything else you'd like to do in your turn, Curon?
Bonus actions. No.
Currently, the Ettin seems to still have control over its body this round. Talrae.
Okay, I shoot it.
Okay. Curon, did you move any closer to it, or did you stay where you were?
I think I stayed where I was.
Cool. All right, go ahead and go for the shot.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing, sharpshooter.
Okay.
So it's +5 to this roll. Oh, +9, sorry. Okay, this time I got a 7, which is still not great, but it turns into a 16.
That will hit the Ettin.
Yay! Okay, so I get a +10 to the damage. Wow, my rolls tonight. I got a 1 and a 1. So that's 2 plus the normal 7 plus the extra 10. So 19. Necrotic damage.
You watch as this gun fires off. Tell us what it looks like when you shoot the Topaz Annihilator.
So it's basically like you see the topaz gem heats up with this like kind of like this negative light, and it shoots out like a slug, so it's like going so fast that it's hard to keep track of it, but it's like this little black light beam slug, like a little ball of necrotic energy that just pierces into this thing, and wherever it shoots, you immediately see like black tendrils spread from the hole.
Yeah, so you see it hits the Ettin head that's corrupted across the neck. You can see it rips through, and you can see the silver blood starts coming out. As you hear the Ettin in control cries out in pain. Don't kill us. You watch as the body starts to convulse, and you can see it's the Ettin is fighting against whatever is controlling it, but you see it just sort of as it starts to slowly step forward. It has significantly reduced movement speed because it's half in and half out of control. It starts to move closer.
With the bar?
What?
With the immovable rod?
Oh, when it sank down, like a movable rod and a belt is not going to stay.
Can
if
I
it
get an
falls to its
attack of
knees.
opportunity?
Oh,
Absolutely, you do. It used its last turn essentially to get out of the bar.
Got it.
Boop.
Because it didn't do anything on its last turn.
18.
That definitely hits.
I'm gonna try to stun him.
Absolutely.
It's 12 damage.
12 damage. Okay.
12 damage.
12
Just
damage.
Nice punch to the booty, left cheek.
And what
Jiggle,
was
jiggle.
it's a con save, right?
Si, senor.
17.
He makes it.
Okay.
Just a nice Booty tap.
Huron, give me an intelligence saving throw.
Here.
10.
Oof.
Okay. You take 6 points of psychic damage.
You're up.
From what?
Something.
Oh, okay.
Do you have, is your intellect higher than 9?
Yes.
Okay. Then you're safe. But you feel a piercing pain in your mind as you can hear a radiating scratching of chalkboard sound coming from the head of the Ettin that is corrupted. Something is clearly trying to destroy your brain and mind. It's specifically targeting your brain.
My brain.
All right, Timber, you're up.
There's
I'm
Brady
gonna
Gap.
run up and all I do is punch things. It's really.
Like it's a bad thing.
I guess I'll punch
I mean,
him.
you could do. This is the kind of situation where like creative decisions are going to be rewarded in the sense of like.
How about
if you suggest doing something that's not the normal mechanic, I'm very open to allowing things in this encounter.
how about I jump on his back? Around the evil head with the silver blood coming out, and I look for any sort of I like try my best to I could spend some key points to like see if there's any sort of life form in there, and then or like squirming on the outside.
I would absolutely allow this.
Okay.
I'm going to say it's going to cost you 2 key points.
Okie doke.
And as you lunge onto its back, you see like the Ettin is not in control of its body right now, but again, you hear those cries coming from it. You can see tears coming down the Ettin's eyes. As Kuran, you could hear it saying, Ben, no, don't kill us. When you're up there and you're grasping on the neck and squirming around trying to find, you can see in the wound that the shot made, you can see very disgustingly, you can see kind of the bottom of like the bottom claw of something that is coming out and almost like slipping out of the flesh. That just truthfully just looks like this scaled leg with black claws on it. As if there's a creature inside that head.
Timber's just gonna think to himself, "This is gross," and then and then just reach his hand in and try to pull it out.
Okay. Give me let's say probably an athletics check.
All right. Woo! Oh, but damn. Okay, natural 20. 23.
Hell yeah. So, Timber, what you've done successfully here is you have pulled this intellect devourer halfway out of the head of this Ettin. So essentially what you've done is you've reached in, you grab this leg, and you start pulling, and you're pulling so hard that you can... It's very gross. You hear the splitting of the skull of the Ettin's head as the flesh cracks and tendons rip, and you can see it almost like you can see the jaw breaks off from the skull and opens up like this as you all can now see... Almost like he's grabbing a little dog by its back leg. You can see he's pulled this leg out and about a quarter of a brain lobe attached to the leg. But distinctly what you should target on your turns.
I imagine he's got his legs up and then he's just like hanging off with this fucking using his body weight to. Sorry.
Absolutely no. The leg is absolutely what is keeping you attached to the body as it's flailing around.
The leg of this thing is just coming out of this guy's neck.
Yep. Scarlet, you're up.
All right. Seeing Timber do all of this, I want to run closer to where I can get within 10 feet, and I can use Prongs of the Black to hopefully wrap around it and help Timber pull it out.
Are you trying to pull it out or attack it?
Trying to help him pull it out.
Okay. Give me an athletics check. But first, give me an attack roll, because you're using a weapon to try to snatch it.
Snatch it. It's a 12 for the attack roll.
Just hits.
Does it? Oh, good. All right,
All right, now
so
give me
that's 5 points of slashing damage, and that would be sneak attack 2, correct?
Yes.
Ooh, 19 points.
How do you want to kill this little creature?
I imagine I go and I close enough to snap the prongs of the black and like wrap it around it, and I imagine it wrapped too tight and it just like.
Yeah, absolutely. You start to pull it out, and you can see like the prongs dig their teeth too deep into the brain matter, and so it just slices it entirely. And you can see the leg gets cut off. Timber, you kind of like fall backwards as you're holding onto the leg. As you can see, this brain just sort of slurps out of the skull of this Ettin second head and drops to the ground. You can see this sliced brain matter with singed magma marks from the prongs of the black, and 3 legs just sort of like twitching on it as you can see this intellect devourer on the ground, dead. And you can see the Ettin just falls to his knees, and he's just one hand grasping at his head as he's just openly weeping at the death of his sibling. As you can just see the mangled head there.
Okay, that's what I wanted to clear up. I was about to ask, is the brain eater like made of this brain material, or do we literally just pull this fucking guy's brain out?
Yeah.
I guess realistically you don't know, because you've never encountered intellect devourers. So as far as you know, you just pulled this thing's brain out. But as far as you can see, the brain being pulled out has stopped the corruption. As now this Ettin is just sitting there openly weeping on his knees.
I don't think that's what Kieran meant when he said don't. Just pull the brain out.
I know if this creature would be considered having died within the last minute.
You mean the other Ettin?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's an interesting question.
Or if it long since has passed away and we just ripped out the
give me a either an Arcana or religion check.
May I take soul trinket?
Sorry.
If
There's no soul.
There's no soul.
The intellectual hour has no soul.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking if Wizard was still here, he'd be like, he'd just like pick up the brain and like put it back in the skull. Like, okay.
Bond memory.
Put a little rope around it. Hold it in place. That'll do it.
Weeping.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's on the religion check.
Talrae will offer a good berry.
Huron, it would seem as though this thing was it was in some kind of conflict while it was corrupted this way. It doesn't seem like you could actually start to look around and you can see there are remains of husks around. This was probably an encounter, which you could feasibly guess that this thing may have taken over this creature within the last minute.
Chiron will walk forward in front of the Ettin and goes, well, I'll at least save one life today. And he'll reach in and take out his 3 diamonds and strike his hand into the other Ettin's head. But as it like starts to connect, the Revivify spell is cast, and he pulls the Ettin's soul back.
And you can see, like, for those of you watching, like, it's disgusting as this Ettin's head
Yeah.
is rebuilt and brain is reformed from the from the remains.
Okay,
It's
good.
just sort of like it looks extraordinarily painful, but it all kind of radiates with this dim moonlight as this other Ettin head just sort of looks up in disbelief at what is happening, as then just Seven. Fen. And they both look to you, Kieran. And you see the one that just was revived, its like lip is quivering in disbelief and shock. It's darkness. Nothing but darkness. And the other one just looks at you. And they just sort of prostrate themselves to you. Thank you. None of the rest of you understand what they're saying, because they're speaking deep speech. Or undercommon.
Responding in uncommon, Kieran goes, "Of course. It's the least we can do. We must help those in need down here. For there are very few friends hiding in the dark. We share a common enemy in the Mind Flayers. Do you actively fight them?"
Yes. Our people are not. We are solitary creatures. They attacked us and our siblings. Came into our homes, our caverns. These creatures. And it points down to the Intellect Devourer's corpse. Hordes of them. We destroyed as many as we could. And this one burrowed into Fenn's brain, mind.
Is there a way to summon your people? To rally them? The Underdark is under attack by these creatures. The Mind Flayers come with an empire seeking to conquer.
My people are hidden. Our people are hidden. Ever since the Mind Flayers took the kiln. But they don't know all the tunnels here.
What is the kiln?
It was once a place for the folk of the Unterland to gather, trade. The disparate tribes between the these Verfneblin to the north, and the dwarves of Kopot Radstva. A safe harbor amongst the deeps. The only safe place in all of the Unterland.
But now the Mind Flayers hold it.
Yes.
Sven, Fen, could there be a way to rally your people? Anything you could think of.
If we were to have the kiln back. It's a symbol.
So can we rally them to go take the kiln, is what
People are too few. We will never be able to face the Empire.
What if you had friends?
Hmm. You've shown great power here. Divine power. Our people respect that power. But we are disparate and hidden. Perhaps you could give me a trinket of some sort to show your power.
Kiran turns back to the group and in common goes, does anyone have a magic item they don't really care about? I'm trying to gain the trust of this creature and hopefully an alliance. They respect our help and powers.
I have one. I reach in my bag and I take out the cleansing stone and I give it to him.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Thanks, buddies. Kieran, I will say in your conversing with this creature, despite what you might think of based on their size and what you assume of giantkin, they don't seem simple. They seem very competent. Like, they're not going to be easily tricked by something.
Right.
Talrae pulls out his musical instrument, which is a strange device that I don't think any of you have seen before.
Could you describe what
It's an
looks like to
electric
us?
guitar.
No. It's just a little small metal rectangle, but it's got a lot of holes in it, and it looks very finely crafted. It's a harmonica.
Nice.
But he quickly like grips it in his palm and puts it back away. He doesn't say anything at all. He just looks at it and thinks like maybe this is good, but then decides better and keeps it for himself.
Kiran turns back to the Ettin and goes, unfortunately, me and my allies have need of most of our items, and he's going to take off the necklace that was given to him by the ardent
Huntress.
huntress, and goes, this was given to me by a friend from the south, a talisman of Damukna, if you're familiar, the wanderer, the huntress, cobalt huntress.
Cobalt Huntress. And you hear Fen finally talks for the first time. We know Cobalt Huntress here. This will do. And then Sven says, a story and this might help. We will give word to our folk that something is brewing to take back the kiln.
The Wayward Five are here, champions of Ilyuvania, consorters of Zendariel.
Saviors of Magicset.
heroes of Magicset and the rectifiers of the wayward mistake. We are traveling now to the Draugr Duergar keep, where we hope to ally ourselves with the king under the mountains. What was his title?
Gloam Lord Garlemane. And who are you?
Me. You want to know who I am? I'm a simple shepherd, just trying to lead my flock into the light, through the twilight. You can call me Kieran.
I will tell my people, Twilight Shepherd. And he'll take the necklace, and you can see he stands up. Thank you, Kieran, Twilight Shepherd. He points a hand. That direction leads to the Glomadun Gap, where you'll find your Duergar. That direction, points towards the lake, leads to the cistern. That direction, points to the stairs you saw on the right, leads to the kiln. We will await your arrival.
And Kieran does a little flourished bow, reminiscent of something Cal might have done one day. And goes, until we meet again, Sven and Fen. May the moon watch you, and the twilight hold you.
And you see, they actually do a similar gesture as the Cobalt Hunters did, as they go over their own heart and then take it out and settle their hand on your shoulder. And then you hear them, they start to lumber off. And it's in this moment you all hear a very loud that loud crashing sound. This time it travels really fast and loud towards you because it goes over the water of the cistern.
Do we feel it?
Oh yeah, you at this place you feel the vibrations of it because it's the sound is just traveling further over the waters of the cistern.
How
So
is
for-
that?
Quick clarification. Would it appear that the cistern is between the kiln and the gap?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And in the way you look at it, because the kiln is like up the stairs.
Uh-huh.
It seems as though the kiln might be above the cistern,
Gotcha.
and the gap is further deep to the left.
Mhm.
But it's definitely the cistern is definitely between the gap and the kiln.
Okay.
But you can like actively see the water vibrating when you look over. Granted, the water about 15-20 feet in disappears into darkness and fog, but where you can still see light in this area, you can see the vibrations move through the water.
I have this ability that's called magic awareness. Well, it's an action, so I guess it's combat based, but I know the location of any spell or magic item within 60 feet that isn't behind total cover. Would this be helpful in this situation?
I mean, I'll allow you to give me a perception check in the way that I used to allow Wisbeck to do perception checks for his long-range detect magic, because it's not exactly what the use of the spell is for,
Right.
or the ability, but it's tangentially related to sort of a quick detect magic effect. So I'll let you use that. So give me a perception check
16.
or Arcana.
I already rolled
Perception's probably better for you.
Yeah, it's a lot better. 16.
16. You feel those vibrations move through, and you can kind of almost feel like it's like the way I'll put the sensation of this is it's not that you like see a glowing aura like detect magic. It's that you hear a certain resonance of sound, a certain ringing in your ears that you, through the magic imbued to you, through the Sirius, you can detect the type of magic that resonance comes from. Conjuration.
Cool. All right. Kieran, I don't know if this would be helpful, but the source of that noise, it's based in conjuration.
Sarathil, do you have any ideas?
What did the creature say? What was the discussion? Do we?
Oh,
Yeah, you all
what's
just
the
saw this
plan?
and walk
You
away.
didn't see the subtitles on the bottom?
No, I didn't have closed captions on.
Oh. I enlisted its help.
Kieran, the Ettin is not that far away if you want to ask it about the sound, too.
Quickly then, in Undercommon, because the DM thought it prudent to mention this. Sven Hen. Nope, Sven.
Fen.
Sven.
Sven Hen.
It's-
That noise. Do you know what it is?
You see, he was like just about to walk up the stairs to the kiln, where he was going to probably use some secret tunnels to find his friends. He turns back, or they turn back, and both look, kind of holding an arm out and looking, kind of pointing it down the cistern and then upwards. Only a few of us have seen it. But in the caverns of the kiln, the high ceilings, cracks of thunder rip through reality, and these tentacled vessels appear. It's all we know.
So for every booming echo we hear, that's another ship.
We presume it is either where they're coming from, or how they move so quickly through the Underdark.
Understood. Thank
A
you.
warning. What we've learned. If one of them has seen you, they all have. And he turns and starts walking up the steps.
It would appear that noise is some kind of reinforcements that come in. The mind flayers are
Just
coming
thinking
through
that
tear in reality.
The heck was his name?
Sven.
Callisto, yes. Callisto mentioned they're from another world. Scarlet's mentioned this is conjuration magic. Be some sort of magic of bringing them here to our world.
Is it a rift? Is it like that?
A portal, or a stargate, if you will.
Should we? Is this?
Sven Hen also suggested it could be how they're getting around so quickly.
Now, Kiran, I need to ask you. Are we dealing with this threat, or are we moving past it?
Kiran looks the group over once, and his gaze is very calculated and stoic, as his eyes linger on everyone for a moment, and he goes, "We'll do what we can. We have more pressing issues ahead of us. If we can rally the denizens of the Underdark together, they can do more than the five of us ever could alone. But they need a guiding hand to get them there. We're passing through the Gloom Lord's domain on our way anyways. It can't hurt to lend our aid there for a moment and rally him to our cause.
Oh,
It can't hurt. You sure about that?
Can you
Well-
look at someone in need, Talrae, and ignore them?
Yes.
I'll never understand why she sends you all to me. And Kieran just starts to walk.
wait,
Starts to
wait.
walk.
Where are we going? Where? Which direction are you going?
You see Noldo starts to follow Kieran. He goes, Master Silistande is heading towards the Glomudun Gap to meet with Gloom Lord Garlemane.
Wait, you can listen to the. Oh, okay.
I just realized Garlemane, Charlemagne.
Charlemagne.
You just got that.
Hey man, I'm a little high.
Well,
you,
it was Clayton's naming, so.
Hey,
Good job, Clay.
Stefan, check yourself for some, intellect hours.
No, I lost my headband of intelligence. Remember, I'm.
Yeah.
fucking-
Kieran, what
Yeah.
is your intelligence at, actually?
It's a +1. It's a 12.
Okay.
It
Oh,
wasn't
wait.
bad. It was just.
No, but I'm just like actively in the moment
Oh.
of rolling that realized how fucking scary they actually are. And because the first roll I rolled, because it's a 3d6, I rolled a 6, and I was like, fuck. And then thankfully I rolled only like a whatever I rolled to get what I got. But I was just like,
Oh.
these are actually really fucking dangerous for low int, like
Dum-dums.
even middling int
Yeah.
characters.
I thought you were about to say that like they're attracted to higher end.
No, I'm saying if this thing rolled a 13, it would have eaten Kieran's brain, and Kieran would be dead.
Wait, how did it get in its brain?
Because anything within 10 feet of it, it was inside the Ettin's head. Kieran was in 10 feet. It can use its devour intellect spell. If it has higher if it rolls higher than your intellect, it destroys your brain and replaces it.
Whoa.
Ew.
It's why they only have 20 health, but they're incredibly dangerous.
Ew.
Oh my god.
And I didn't realize really how dangerous they were until I was like, oh, I'm using the
So you had
ability.
to play one.
Well, I was like, holy shit. Because but the thing is, it's only if you fail the DC 12 intelligence saving throw.
Yeah.
Just,
Finally, I have good defense on this.
well, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, me too.
But I was just like,
Plus 0.
It's like in the
Yeah,
moment,
me
I was
too.
just like,
-1.
Huron could actually not pass this, and then like it could easily eat his brain. But no, as you start to stride down the tunnel that leads towards where you know the Glomadoon Gap is, Noldo follows shortly behind you, Kieran. And I assume the rest of you follow?
Yeah. If we're walking for more than like 5 minutes, Talrae is going to resummon his dragon, so he doesn't have to walk anymore.
Easily enough. But as you begin to delve deeper into this path, it is unnerving to hear the continuous in the distance, echoing through all chambers. And as you get a little deeper into this path, you hear other sounds similar to it. You get the unnerving sense that you're surrounded by this swarm. That's where we're going to end tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for sticking around with us and hanging out. As we invited or welcomed our new party member, Talrae Glomaroon, and explored a little deeper into the Underdark and saved one of the denizens, Sven and Fen, an Ettin. I was truly not expecting you to resurrect Fen, but that's going to go a long ways.
Well done.
With the new rumor or the new legend going around the Underdark of the Twilight Shepherd.
Yeah.
Truly a clutch move that I'm very impressed with. Excellent stuff, folks. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Please visit us for other programming throughout the week that we do. Join us tomorrow night for another Play in Paradise, where Alex and Mike, along with guests Mark and Tim, our player who used to play Cal, are playing Gloomhaven. Very cool stuff.
Alex, what are we doing? Mark is not.
Are you
around
still playing
tomorrow.
Gloomhaven tomorrow?
We normally would be. I think tomorrow we're gonna play like Divinity or something.
All right, so it's
Nice.
going to be
Mark-
Alex and I doing Divinity tomorrow because Mark is MIA. He is
Cool,
not
cool, cool.
available. But yeah, come check Divinity. Also fun stuff.
And then join me
killed.
on Wednesday for another. Join me on Wednesday for Relaxing in Paradise, where I will be painting minis and truthfully, I might be working on a map. I might do a incarnate map of the Underdark,
Ooh.
potentially, or at least this region of it. We'll see. But regardless, I will likely also be playing some New World with David from Afar and Nick from Scry Society, because that's a lot of fun. And then join Shannon and I on Friday for the Scales Above, where things are getting interesting. And then Sunday.
Nova's in chat. What's up, Nova? He's DM for that. Woo!
Yes. The roll for damage in there is Nova, who is the lovely DM for the Scales Above. And then on Sunday, we will be doing the Sean and Shannon Power Hour, where we will discuss this session, speculations, the most powerful hour on the internet.
The hour's power.
Most power flower.
This Saturday, Shannon and I will be guesting on. Oh goodness, I don't
Roll
have
for
it up.
Chaos.
Thank you. Roll for Chaos, where we're going to be playing a new system we've never played before, which is really interesting.
I'm very excited.
But it's going to be really exciting. So join us for that on the Roll for Chaos channel. But that is our programming for the upcoming week. We are going to raid someone now. There are a lot less people online than usual tonight.
You can do
Shannon, who are you raiding?
Friends who roll dice. Let's do
Friends who roll dice. Excellent.
Like in general.
So go ahead and give our love to Friends who roll dice.
All of our friends that roll dice. But these in
And
particular.
thank you again for joining us in Paradise. Say good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Goodbye. Don't
We love
die.
you. Why?
See ya.